Happy New Year, everyone. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Let me just adjust my chair a little higher. There we go. And welcome to Courageous Conversations. I'm going to do a tiny bit of sharing, which I would love you as well to do. And then I'm going to dig into this juicy topic called post-traumatic stress after the holidays. It's real. People are very much experiencing, they've had to possibly hold in their energies, and now they're experiencing the effects of whatever they went through over the holidays. Even if it was not with other people, it could have been simply with themselves. So let me just do a little bit of sharing and then we will dig in. And if you feel this topic is important or resonant with you, please share as well. It's the kind of thing that, if people get to talk about, I feel that the post-traumatic stress will relieve itself, will lessen itself. And so I feel like the moment is now for people to say, okay, I want people in on this conversation. I want people in on this conversation. And I just want to say it's very, very nice to be back. I've had a nice break, which has been very, very helpful to me. And let me just keep sharing for just a moment. I know I'm a tiny bit distracted, but I'll be right back. And hopefully you will share as well, as this topic is super important. There's going to be a giveaway, so the more you share, the better it'll be. I have a new audiobook out, so it'll be kind of fun. And I want people to be able to have access. So here we go. Just sharing a tiny little bit on different pages and groups. And we can be on this journey together. The thing about the holidays is that there is such an expectation around it. There's such a massive, positive expectation for a lot of people, and a lot of people also can be kind of stressed about it pre-holidays. And I know for me, I love the holidays, but at the same time, it has with it a lot of energetic, emotional stuff, family-wise. But I would say that that a lot of people talk to me, and I get a lot of feedback around the notion that when you're heading into the holidays, there's a lot of expectation, and then when you're in the holidays, if you're with family, if you're interacting, I want to tell you that there's this moment where people, and possibly many moments, where there's holding back of what you actually want to say or what you actually want to do. And if there's holding back, that's one piece that can create some trauma, or at least some perturbation, some chaos within, shall we say. And from there's other things. There's lots of indulging in food, sometimes lots of indulging in alcohol, sometimes lots of indulging in behaviors that normally are not as, shall we say, healthful or supportive of your health. And there can be guilt about that. There can be emotions about that, self-criticism about that, or it can be just gloriously wonderful to just languish. I took a couple of weeks off, so I got to do a lot of languishing. And I have to say, and we didn't forego the gym completely, my husband and I, but I have to say that it was like, oh, I really miss my routine. I really miss getting back into the swing of things. But at the same time, I have to say that there is a true opportunity to relax. I want to know how you guys have experienced this as well. And I will have a giveaway for the people who like and share and sort of comment the most. So make sure you get in on that. And it's for my book, Find Your Self-Culture, an audiobook. It is now an audiobook, which is so cool. But the courageous piece about all this is a lot of people, I've been at the office already, and some of the stuff that I'm hearing are people who go into the holiday experience and don't really find that their experience is supportive of the self. And not because it was bad with people, but because there is a need to hold back, or there's a need to bite your tongue, or there's energies or dynamics that are difficult. And I think that the act of doing that is a really good discipline, a really important an important way of engaging with triggering situations. But at the same time, it can at times be traumatic after the fact, where people start to relax finally, and it's like, ooh, what happened? What happened during that time, during our holiday time? And so I find that this period, entering into January, coming into the first weeks of January, people are experiencing some possibly some depression, some self-doubt, some sadness, possibly. The other thing that I notice people feel is kind of also a letdown, that the good times, the fun times, the party times are gone now, and now we're going to get back to work, and then people open their bills and they go, oh my God, I spent too much. Or there's a variety. And I just want to say that as you enter into this new year, into this experience of the new year, set an intention for yourself. Number one, a lot of self-kindness, a lot of meditation if possible. That's something that is so essential, just to center yourself and to get into a moment of self-soothing, self-care, self-love, self-acceptance of your own imperfections, of your own experiences of, maybe you think you should have done it differently, or you could have done it differently, or it should have been differently, or people should have taken you in different ways, or whatever it may be. The work right now, I think, is to cope with the darkness and take lots of vitamin D, but also to do a lot of, to lighten yourself through this time, to not be so, either you're sad that the holidays are over, or you're feeling emotions because during the holidays there were events or experiences or interactions, or during the holidays you found yourself to be filled with, unhealthy behaviors, or whatever it may be. Allow yourself to just drop it, let it go, let it just go, let the whole thing just pass. 2018 gone. We have 2019 now, and there's a moment right now in which there is such an opportunity to really, really self-accept and accept circumstances, and really self-care and self-love. And if there's any guilt or shame or embarrassment or anger or possibly depressive feelings, or even decisions, that's not, like rejection of things, find a way to make peace with it. Find a way to, and the best way, I think, is to do visualizations of self-love, and I hand on heart, hand on tummy, and just beaming yourself with self-love. But just remember that when you beam self-love at you, understand that you can also beam love to the world. So it's not just love at you, but love at the world. And I find that because if we stick to a sense of non-acceptance or non-love, if we take too long in that, it starts to bore a hole in you. It starts to really burrow down deep into you and create a pattern of unwellness and unhappiness. So whatever the holidays were, whether the holidays were, jubilant and partying and fun and all that, and now you're missing that, or you're feeling guilty for that, or you're feeling some emotion about that, and whether or not the time right now as you're entering the new year is challenging and difficult, and possibly coping with turbulence in your brain, or dealing with the darkness, or dealing with the fact that here we are in the new year, and maybe there's regrets about the past year, or whatever it may be. As Pema Chodron, who's a wonderful Buddhist nun, says, make friends with it. Make friends with it. Meaning, you don't have to love it, but you can at least not hate it. So just make friends with whatever was in the holiday season, and make friends with your feelings about the new year, and allow yourself to be imperfect and human. Imperfect and human. Imperfect and human is the theme. Without, and one of the themes that John Gottman talks about, who's the father of couples therapy and all of that, he talks about, and I write about it in my second book, if you do make mistakes, fix it quickly. Apologize, make amends. If you have to apologize to yourself, go for it. Make amends. Understand you're imperfect. Understand that you're imperfect, but also understand that you're responsible to fix whatever it is, and fix it through apology or through amends making or through allowing yourself to be different in the next interaction, as opposed to the same old interactions as before. Every moment we have an opportunity to renew our experience. Every moment doesn't have to be influenced by the past. Every moment. And even though those of us who have experienced trauma as children, the past, when we're with family, can show up again and go, oh, here it is. Here is the same feeling I felt when I was a child kind of energy. But the truth is, there is a new moment here, and you have to tell yourself that new moment. And Leanne McCallum says, I had stopped eating sweets and junk food since July. Oh, good job. At Christmas, I ended up having some. Yesterday was my first day back to work, and last night I ate junk food. How do I move beyond this? Forgive yourself. Allow yourself the humanity of, man, you did great. You stopped, it's not all or nothing. 80-20, Leanne, 80-20. 80% of the time, which you're on the journey toward healthy eating. 20% of the time, you're giving yourself, maybe 15% of the time, you're giving yourself a pass. And my gosh, you said you stopped eating sweets and junk food since July. Good job. Give yourself a massive pat on the back. Good work. And you ate some, over the holidays. You ate some, so get rid of the junk food. Don't have the food at home. That's the other one I do is, it's out. It's out of here. It's gifted to everyone. It's in the garbage. It's gone. And allow yourself that freedom of not having that around you, those triggers, and allow yourself to just go, boom, it's gone. See ya. And thanks for joining me, Lisa. Thanks for everyone who's joining me, Vincent, Leanne, and all the people who have come on, Marla. I feel like, Leanne, I want you to be kind to yourself, please. And that's the other thing. As we're going through this next moment, decide, make a choice to be kind to yourself. Make a choice. Make a decision, new decision right now, this moment. From this moment on, I'm going to be kind to myself, and I'm going to set myself up for success. In the case of Leanne, get rid of the junk food, get rid of all the sweets, and 80-20. Because I find that the soul and the being within us is very forgiving. But the child within that has trauma is very demanding. And so you want to make sure that you're not going about your decisions for healthiness in a very militaristic way, because that will set up a piece of you to be rebellious. So try to be gentle and kind as you're going through the next phase of, say, not eating junk food, or say, taking care of yourself regarding family dynamics or whatever it may be. Try to not be militaristic, try to be gentle, kind, and also try to really operate from a place of some balance. And all or nothing, not balanced. Black and white, not balanced. The gray is balanced. 80-20 is balanced. More often than not is a concept of balance versus it's always. I find that that's an important way to treat yourself as you come into the next phase. I know better than anyone that I can be a little bit militaristic sometimes. It needs to be this way. And then I always regret that. So I recommend that you not go down the militaristic road as you're trying to, it's why to me, resolutions, by the way, they're for the birds. They don't work because usually they're too militaristic. It has to be this way. They're too black and white. I'm not a fan of that type of resolution. I like people to decide and have an intention to be in a certain way, to operate in a certain way, to feel in a certain way, to do a certain thing, but to understand that there's got to be 80-20, 80-20, 80-20. And Lisa says, militaristic makes it so clear how we set ourselves up to rebel. Exactly. Anytime I had a client one time walk in on an early January appointment and said, that's it. I've declared to my family and to everyone that I am going to be quitting. This person said, I'm going to be quitting drinking for the year. I went, for the year? I said, okay, for the year. She says, I've told everybody. I've told my colleagues. I've told my family. I'm not drinking for the year. I'm like, whoa, okay, all right. So that's militaristic. And of course, the problem with that is that the person fell off the wagon within a month. And I said, it's interesting how you set this goal up and you set yourself up to fail. It's kind of a militaristic goal. And she agreed. And so she shifted it and explained to people that, oh, you know what? I actually stopped drinking for the month. And that was really, really helpful to me. But I think I made a goal that was in error. And so I'm going to be a little gentler with this goal. So don't set up these huge goals, bite-sized goals, smaller goals. Be kind and gentle with yourself. And any emotion that you have over what you did, resolve to forgive yourself. And forgiveness isn't to just give you carte blanche to do whatever. Forgiveness is just to be kind to yourself, essentially, and to free yourself from the imprisonment of self-judgment and self-criticism. Marla Manning says, I lost my father-in-law a week before Christmas. Oh, I'm so sorry. And had some Christmas with some unhealthy family members. Yep, that's always tough. Having difficulty getting back to healthy, a lot of changes in my job, as well as any input would be helpful. Okay. Marla, here's what I want to tell you. Number one, anyone who's watching, send Marla some energy. Not easy to lose a family member during Christmas. Very challenging. Very, very challenging. I'm so sorry. And also unhealthy family members. So be gentle and kind with yourself. Be forgiving of yourself. And also understand that the transition now is going to be challenging. Literally tell yourself there's going to be some challenge. Don't come at this with any kind of rose-colored glasses. It's going to be tough. But because it's going to be tough, I want you to be extra gentle with yourself, extra kind, and extra boundaried. In other words, if you don't want to do something, give yourself permission to not. Personalized self-care. My first book, Find Your Self-Culture, I have a whole section on people need to personalize their self-care. So for one person, taking a bath is self-care. For the other person, it just isn't. For me, taking a bath is not self-care. I feel a little bit wrinkly. But for me, taking care of myself means, walking in nature or binge watching a fun television show or that kind of thing. Personalized, say those words, personalized self-care. Welcome, Sherry. Welcome, Edan. Welcome, Candy. Welcome, Lisa. Welcome, everyone who's joining. Yeah. Personalized self-care, Marla. And the other thing I want to really recommend that you do is consider getting some sessions, massage, acupuncture, Reiki. I had, on the second day of January 2nd, I came off my time with family, and thank God I set up a wonderful Reiki exchange with a dear friend, Kimiko. She's a great Reiki master, and it was powerful. I was able to just finally do some deep releasing of the tension that was in my body from the family, or from not so much from the family, but from traveling and coming back, and from holding the tongue, and from dealing with family dynamics. Love them, by the way. I love my family deeply, deeply, deeply. But that session oh, it was so relieving and releasing to me. And then I came back and I started to do I have these tones. Sharon Warren, a lovely friend, she does toning so we can balance our mind state. So I started to listen to my tones, meditation, did some processing. And that has all been really, really helpful. Because if you don't take care of yourself, nobody else will. Are you hearing me? If you don't take care of yourself, nobody else is going to do it. It's not their job to do it. It's your job to do it. So the other thing is I, because of all the sweets and all that stuff, Leanne, one of the things I do now from the day 1 of January, day 2 of January, every day, celery, carrots, fruits, eating in, fish and vegetables, just, feel amazing, and getting sleep, lots of good sleep. So just remember that. The sleep is so important, and also the, like getting to bed at a good time, getting to the gym. We've been at the gym every day since the beginning of the year, so that's been really, really great. And so the routine is back. The self-love is back. The selfhood is back. The self-culture is back. And now you just want to cultivate it and keep it and keep it and keep it and keep it. Okay? I want to just ask everyone to share if possible, if that's something that hits you. And also, I want to remind you of this important factoid. Every dark moment or difficult, challenging experience that you go through, I go through, is such an effing opportunity to self-analyze and to evolve and grow. Remember that the caterpillar, cheesy story coming at you, the caterpillar has to struggle in the cocoon in order to develop unbelievable wings. If the farmer goes on and finds caterpillars and starts to cut the cocoon to make it easier for the butterfly or for the caterpillar, the wings are going to be atrophied and weakened and not very large. You need the struggle. You need the trouble. You need that friction in order for you to evolve and develop the muscles. And like the caterpillar developing into a stunning butterfly, you need that. And you really, really, really do need that struggle. And Wendy says, truth, evolve, and grow. I learned and acknowledge a lot this holiday. Great. Really good. Wendy, just keep doing that work. Thank you for joining us, Wendy. Keep doing that work. And I know that you've been doing a lot of really good work, Wendy. And just don't give up. Don't give up, because the truth of the matter is that we all owe ourselves the work of evolving. Thanks, Claudio, for joining us. We all owe ourselves, our soul, the work of evolving. If you don't, you're just going to have to do it again. So do that work. And that work looks like meditation, self-analysis, journaling, therapy, self-care, prioritizing yourself, forgiving yourself for your imperfectness, and trying to really, really set some positive, as my sister says, causes and conditions to succeed. And when I say succeed, I'm not talking about massive success. I'm talking about just being well with yourself. And Leanne says, thank you. Oh my God, thank you. Trying to get to bed in time to get up to do meditation practice. Going to give myself space to get back into daily life. Thanks. I really appreciate you saying that, Leanne. So I wish everyone a happy new year. Happy new year, baby. Happy new year. Happy new year. All right. 2019 looks to be planetarily really good for us. 2018 was a kick in the gut for a lot of people. And 2019 seems to, I've been reading, going to be just a bit of an easier year. Not without its challenge, but a bit of an easier year for us. So I hope so. I hope that is the case. So, take it easy. Keep having a courageous conversation with yourself and others. And I'll come at you again tomorrow. And I'm going to do the giveaway. Tomorrow I will reveal the winner of the giveaway. And I will let you know who won, okay? Many blessings. And the giveaway is for Find Your Self Culture audiobook. If you get a moment, have a look at my group, Courageous Conversations, and I'd love you to join. It's a closed group for us to be able to have a safe place to really, really share. And I wish you a spectacular day. And share this video if that feels right to you. Blessings. Mwah. Happy New Year. Bye, everybody.